It's Saturday morning and we're hoping to get a few pieces done. Our son's gone to work, so it's me and hubby, and I've got one of my other summer tops on. I have got others that I haven't actually shared. So this is this pale pink one with like the lady's face on. I do love this one. This one, I'm not sure where it came from. It was one of those I picked up when I was on holiday a few years ago. So I'm not sure. I know it was one of these little shops, but anyway, so that's this top. So I've got quite a few that I will be sharing, and hopefully you have enjoyed yesterday's video, which was putting outfits together. So as I said, I'm still continuing with the 7 days. I'm not sure that I'm going to fit it all in. I might have to extend it or do an odd video following this series. But today we are possibly going through the sheds. The wind is up. I mean, yesterday it was windy, as you've probably seen when we was doing the back garden and everything, because hubby finished at 2 o'clock, picked up some stuff, took it to the tip, and things like that. But it wasn't a cold wind, funny enough. It was quite blustery actually, but it was warm. Not sure about today. It's a bit dull at the moment, so we shall see how the day progresses. And so as I said, I've just teamed it with my black jeggings, and I have got one of my pairs of some socks, which is these ones. I do have all my housework to do, but I'm not sure that's going to get done today. I think we're going to still work on the sheds now. Our recycle plant or stroke tip opened. Yeah, hubby had to queue for ages to actually get there. Instead of having 3 lanes, they just had the one, social distancing and everything. So we've got an awful lot of stuff to get rid of. That box was actually split that we leave outside. That's when we had sacks. Until about the 2nd of December last year, we had sacks ever since we had our home, and we've only just had the wheelie bins. Because we got a stream as well and was afraid of rats, we actually had that big box to put sacks in, and it used to have a recycle bins and things like that. So it is actually very old, and we are thinking about replacing it. I said before I'd like a bench or something possibly, but I say our wish list is getting endless. It depends on obviously finances and time and when we can actually go around, because certain things, yeah, you can get quite a lot online, but other things you just want to see them, you know, and shop around. Sometimes depending on what the item is, I just like to spend that extra bit of time getting the right piece. So hopefully you'll follow us on our day. Right, we have got his and her sheds. Mine is the smaller one. It's usually pretty organised, although it is quite messy at the moment. Hobbies is over at the side, and I'll show you his. His tends to be usually pretty well organised, but as he says, I keep putting a lot of stuff in his shed, especially, well, it's going to the tip. Anything and everything that I want out of the house usually goes in his, but now even the walkway is quite hectic, isn't it, Darlene?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm hoping. Normally we do this at Easter, and normally we empty both sheds, but we're not quite sure if that's going to happen today due to the fact it's staying dry at the moment, but it is forecast rain. So this is my shed. I'll quickly show you it. As I said, do excuse the mess. It's usually more organised than this. I have it in sections. I have my gardening tools here, watering can here, and usually the hedge cutter for the front is there. I'm not sure where it is at the moment because our son cut the hedge the last time. Garden stuff, there's the lead for the cutter, and then I have a container in here that has all the little mini tools in. I've also got my little weed collector there, and all the little pieces here. Say very often I put everything back. I just like empty it to clear it all out. I do store, which has come out because me and hubby were going through our paint to see what was any good. I do store the paint in here. That is the microwave box. That's the box to the microwave that is going to the caravan, but we are taking the old one that we brought back from the caravan. Hopefully we're having a trip to the tip, or hubby's having a trip to the tip today. Then, as I said, I do have things like masking tape, rollers, but there is a few pieces that could be pulled out to go to the tip. As I said, oh, there's the edge cutter. Normally it goes down here because I like it where I can actually get hold of things quite easily. As I said, I've got my Strum of the Lawn there. That hook up there normally has the steps, but because I've been doing a lot in our home, that's the 2-step one. It normally hooks up there. I've left it in our home. Then obviously things I'm using the warm, hot and cold method to how I use things, like hot because I'm always using these, so these need to be accessible, like the mower. I like that, that's hot because it's needing to get out, and actually it's not too heavy. It's not like our previous mower where it was really heavy. It's quite lightweight, but it's easy to manoeuvre it out. And just at the back there, got some boxes, and that's our granddaughter's outside chair. We have got a box full of footballs, tennis balls and everything. And I did say to hubby, because obviously stuff that's come over, we did have a word with the neighbours, and they said none of it is theirs, because I knocked on their door, put the box down and got out of their front garden and sort of shouted over, is any of this belonging to you? So I'm not sure if we're actually allowed just to take it to the tip. As I said, there's quite a few footballs, isn't there, basketball and everything, but obviously with lockdown and everything as well, they shouldn't be playing football near the property anyway, but there you are. But no one's come forward, and some of those footballs, there's a basketball that came from the summer last year, didn't it? Mm-hmm. And nobody's actually come for it, so I think we may just take the whole box and hope for the best, no one complains. But as I said, that'll be one box whole going to the tip. So I'm going to get on and I'll quickly show you hubby's shed, the man shed, and you're going to have to hide your eyes on this one, but this is the before. Hopefully we'll show you the after.
Everything gets put in here. I mean, at the back I've got a 5-foot trailer. Need to decide what I want to do with that.
So we've usually got it pretty organised, but it's delayed, isn't it? And usually we've gone to the tip a number of times by now. So
we're going to the tip.
So far we've got the old microwave from the caravan. We've got a couple of chairs. As I say, that's the wind, but we're a bit more sheltered just here, aren't we? That's the garden incinerator, and hubby made a tray, didn't you? And that is to burn any personal papers and everything. Again, that's on the job list, isn't it? There's my Sizzix box because it's over 2 years old now, isn't it? Because I've been banned from using these screwdrivers to open tins of paint. I have got my own tools now. That used to pee you off, didn't it, Dylan?
Yeah, I've got Daniel's exhaust in here.
I did have it fairly well organised. Like, the only other things that in hubby's is like the stuff to do the fencing and gates and everything, and we've got batteries up there, and then it goes on to car stuff. It does have a lot of tools, but it's this walkway, we like to have this cleared, and as I said, sometimes I am guilty of this. It's not all mine, but at one stage we had it so thinned down, didn't we?
Yeah.
But with not being able to get rid of stuff to the tip, I think we've got a lot of boxes and stuff, haven't we?
Yep.
That was the handle. We already had the steps, and hubby actually had to alter it, didn't you? So I didn't keep falling.
Well for you.
Yeah, so I didn't keep falling up or out the caravan. So, do excuse the noise because things are getting a bit blown about. But I say getting rid of cardboard and everything, isn't it? Is one thing. Yeah. So I'm gonna leave hubby to it, and hopefully we can get a bit cleared, because we like this bit cleared a bit so we can put the table, which has got a glass top, and the chairs here, so we don't normally leave them out. What, we've had them out now for about a week. We normally don't leave them out, do we? I didn't realise it was with the chair.
See, got 3 chairs.
So yeah, so we've got a little bit already, look. Our pole's getting a bit bigger. I said it's bigger things, and getting rid of the cardboard. So I'm going to go back and have a look at my shed and see what can be got rid of. Right, I've left the mower out at the moment. That's going back, but I wanted to show you how I've progressed with the shed. Here's our pile of stuff ready to go to the tip. As I said, we did do one brief trip, or should I say hubby did. That was mostly garden stuff, and that big box thing that we used to store sacks in. A lot of it is cardboard and boxes. We've got a few old chairs there, the old microwave from the caravan, and just general things, a bucket, and finally it fell off a few times, the pan out of hubby's shed, and mine is cracked as well, so might have to replace the pan and brushes in both sheds. So yeah, so that's the first pile, and that's the main one. So we normally do this around Easter time, but it never got done due to the lockdown. So that is that, and I say hubby's gonna load the car, should I say, and then I will do a quick look at my shed. As I said, I've got it pretty organised. I sort of manoeuvred things. It didn't take me that long because things were near enough in the places they should have been anyway, and I do sort of section it off, and I'll explain that in a moment. Right, so this is how I organised my shed. I pretty much put everything back as it should be. I say over the winter and everything, things do get messed up. So I've got my steps there that we use for decorating and everything, and the lawn edge cutter is there. I've got our granddaughter's little chair there. Yeah, the snow shovel is there. Hopefully we're not going to need that. Maybe I'm tempting fate now. The top bit is like all the blankets and old curtains and everything that we use for decorating, and I've got rollers and masking tape there. That bag has just got some foliage that I have out at Christmas time, and it's sort of outside in just around the garden and everything, so that's there. Got brushes in here, so pretty much everything's gone back. Rollers, the trays there, then it's going into all the paints and decorating stuff and things like this, all in here. A couple of the recycled boxes I've kept, and the IKEA bags, we tend to use them quite a lot. We're taking stuff to the tip or taking anything that's going anywhere, especially I don't mind leaving those. Then I've got, as I said, all the little trails and everything. That is actually a granddaughter's one for her fairy garden, just a little trail there. And there's the manual hedge cutters, and there is the electric ones, and the extension cable there. I like those there because they're easily able to slide out, and I have to be careful that no one catches themselves on blades. That's why I try and tilt everything inwards. Gloves there, and that's some compost. And then I have got the watering can there, and then I've got gardening tools here. A lot of these got quite a few different forks because we did actually restrict the garden a number of times actually, but we did have a lot of work doing on it when we first purchased our home. But a lot of these were wedding presents except for the spade. So these are the forks and everything are like 30 plus years old, except for the spade because hubby broke it a couple of years ago, so I had to purchase another one. And if I remember rightly, I actually got that from Poundland for £5 because we were really struggling for a spade. So that is it. As I say, I just wanted to give you a quick look. And yes, I have got carpet on the floor in my shed. It was just an offcut. That's all been swept, and I've got rid of hopefully all the cobwebs as well, or most of them. So that is all organised. This shelving here and there, this is, I'd like to say 28, nearly 30 years old. That is something hubby made himself, and he's also made all the shelving in his shed as well. So that is mine. His is not looking too bad. We've got a bit of a gangway now in his, but I say wants to make this trip to the tip. Hopefully the weather's brightened up a little bit. It's quite nice when that sun comes out. We have gained, or hubby has a little bit of space on the floor. It does need a good sweep. Said we were holding off, weren't we, because it really does need emptying. But normally our garden is absolutely covered, isn't it? Normally when we normally actually empty both sheds at the same time, don't we, and go through everything. So yeah, it's not too bad. So we might do maybe a couple of shelves rather than empty the whole lot. Might do a couple of shelves. I said this is more shelving that hubby has made. I was saying it's about between 25 and 30 years old, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah. This is how one looks, windswept and everything. The car's been loaded up. It's now on its way to go to the tip. Do excuse the state of me. This is what you get. As I said, I'm not one of these. I show the good and the bad, when it doesn't work, when it does work and everything. And let's face it, I hardly ever wear makeup. That may be coming into a bit, I think, maybe tomorrow. As I said, I'm still doing my glamour week, but my nails are absolutely disgusting. I'm not going to show you a close-up of those. That might be on the cards later today. The front lawn could do with a mow as well, but we should see. We're not overdoing it. May do a bit more to hubby's shed. It's coming up to 10 to 12. It depends on how long he's actually queuing at the tip and how busy they are. He did say they were busy yesterday, and I think they might be even busier today. I did sometimes with their queuing up in the past for when it opens at 10. It's just a few miles down the road by your carriageway, so it is sort of our end of town, so that's something. But I did say to hubby, being it's Saturday and I think it's only just opened during the week, that there might be a problem that the queue might go right back to the roundabout. So, you know, people queuing up, especially if people being off. I'm hoping it's not going to take too long, as he would have gone earlier on, but we didn't get this shed sorted out yesterday as he was working half day, and we did sort of tidying up the outside in the garden. So yeah, I'm just taking a break. I'm just going to have some paracetamol. I have got a muggy head actually. it's not too bad. I think the fresh air has sort of blown it about. And yeah, I did say about my fringe look, it is getting really long. Yeah, and looking a bit of a mess now. That's why I keep flipping it up. I feel as though it's always in my eyes. That's why I start having more of a part in and flick it to the sides. But yeah, so I'm gonna have a drink. Take some paracetamol. Have a mini break. Start looking through this video so that once we've finished part of hubby's about to say wardrobe, his shed, then I hopefully got it all pieced together so I can upload it later today. So I've still hoping to do the next instalment of my clothing as well. So I'm going to just take a break, as I said, and just check this video over.
Well, I went to the tip, a waste of time. When I got there, they were queuing up outside and I had to go to the back of the queue and there was about 25 cars queuing up. I would have been there for about 2.5 hours and I thought, no, I'll go tomorrow morning first thing before they open and queue then. Hopefully I can get straight in then. So it's all in the back of the car and I've put the car away, so it's ready just to go tomorrow morning. So as soon as I wake up and Denise has made me a cup of tea, I'll get dressed and go. I'll probably have to make the tea myself anyway. So.
Oh, thanks a lot.
I made it this morning twice.
I offered. I still got it because I had to do Daniel's packing up.